So today we're doing a deep dive into my vision board of 2024, reflecting what went well, what didn't, what came true, and even some of the unexpected surprises that I always find happen with vision boards. Now, I'm going to take you exactly through the process I go through when reviewing my vision board, which is exactly what I need to do before creating my vision board for the next year, which, hint, hint, or spoiler alert, is next week's video. I've been creating vision boards for years now, and I've been tweaking the process every year and making it more aligned to what I believe in and what I want, adding things, taking things away, trying different methods. And today I want to share with you the method that I have found works best for me, at least, so that you can take what resonates and, as always, leave what doesn't and create your vision board for 2025. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. Now, before we get started, and I really hope you can't hear that drill in the background, I need to give you a little bit of context. I divide my life into 4 main sections: health, personal goals, opportunity goals, and relationship goals. And those 4 sections are each subdivided into 3 more. So health has physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. Personal goals have learn, grow, and play. Opportunity goals have legacy, travel, and lifestyle. And then relationship goals has home, my inner circle, which is basically my marriage and my dogs. And then my friends and family is the last category. So because I divide my life this way, it is easier for me to create a vision board that separates my pictures in this way. That way, when I want to visualize a specific thing or a specific area of my life getting better, I can focus on that part of the vision board. I really like having an organized and structured vision board versus having like a collage of big ideas. Now, when I review my vision goal, I always start at health and I end at relationships. I do it in the same order that I mentioned the categories before. The reason I do it this way, there's 2 of them. The first thing is that health, physical health, mental health, and spiritual health, is what has the most impact on all of your other categories. So I may want to make new local friends and travel more and go on more dates with my husband and train my dogs and build another business. But if my mental health isn't there, if I'm sick or my physical health isn't well, then all of the other stuff is going to be affected. So I always start with health. And then the second reason is because I'm going from the internal parts of my life to the external parts of my life. Now, what do I mean by internal and external? What I mean is the goals or the things that I want that are only dependent on me versus the things that are dependent on me and on other people. Let me give you an example. With my personal goals, I want to read an X amount of books every year. Who does that depend on? It depends on me. It is a personal goal inside my learn category. It's there every year, and it only depends on me. It depends on me taking the time to read the books. That's all it is. It does not depend on anyone else. It does not depend on subscribers, followers, family, friends. It only depends on me making the time to read the books. My health goals, eating well, going and exercising, it only depends on me making the time to do it. Okay? So my health and my personal goals are mostly internal. Whereas once we move into the opportunity section and the relationship section, there are things that depend on other people. So for example, in opportunities, I have the legacy subsection, which is where my business goals are. It's the impact I want to leave on the world. And one of my business goals is to get this channel to hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, right? And then 10,000, then 100,000, and hopefully one day there'll be millions of you here. But right now, I'm working on the first 1,000. However, I can't control if you decide to subscribe or not, although I would be very, very grateful if you did. So what happens is I can only control what content I can put out. I control how many videos I create. I control how much I learn about video editing and improving my thumbnails and my titles and my descriptions, how to make more interesting content for you, trying out different types of videos, that kind of thing I can control. But the goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers is external. I can't control you actually hitting that subscribe button, which you should really do. Just saying. Same thing happens with relationships, right? In relationships, I have my home. And in my home, I'm not the only person that lives here, right? My husband lives here too. And so not everything is up to me. We both decide things together. We both delegate things to each other. And it depends on both of us. We also have dogs. And so that is a whole other wheelhouse, right? So I go from internal to external, and I always start in health because health are the ones that impact the most on the other sections. So I go in from health to relationships, so from internal to external, because that is the best way that I have found works for me. Now that you have the context of how I build out my vision board and my goals and all that stuff, let me tell you the process for reviewing my vision board when the year is coming to an end. I ask myself 4 little questions. First of all, what went well? What are the wins? What things came true? What are the things that I want to celebrate? Second thing is, what could have gone better? Now, this doesn't mean it went terribly bad. It could mean that you didn't do anything about it. There's things I have on there that I didn't do anything about, I didn't take action on. But it could also just mean that maybe you wanted to do something every day and you weren't as consistent as you wanted to be, but you did do it sometimes. So just what could have gone better? The third thing is there anything unexpected or surprising? Now, one of the things I love the most about vision boards is surprising myself with things that I didn't expect. And I know I have a few of them this year because I already looked into my vision board a little bit. And it's always so exciting to see an unplanned thing come to life, okay? And then the last thing is, how do I feel overall about this category, okay? What do I want to do for next year or take into account for next year? How do I feel over it? Was it overall good, overall bad? Could I do better? Blah, blah, blah. And then once I do section by section, at the end, I'll do an overall review of just the general vision board. Okay, I think I've talked enough. So how do we get to the actual review? This is my overall vision board for 2024. And there's a couple of things blurred out, but not much. So if I start, like I said, with health, this is the screen section here, but you'll see there's 3 subsections. So physical health, what went well? I started exercising. It'd been a while. It's good. I drank more water. I did sleep well. I also got an Oura ring this year to help me track my sleep and all of that stuff, which has been really helpful. What could have gone better? Nutrition. Nutrition was really tough for me this year as I had a hard time keeping up with cooking because I was so exhausted. I didn't really meal prep, which I usually do, and that also didn't help. You can also see that there's a little, one from a photo from a dance class kind of thing. I wanted to try out a dance class and I didn't. I'd also love to get out and walk more in nature, just outside. And I haven't really done a lot of that. What was unexpected? When I picked the images for this section of my board, a lot of it was related to exercising, which was my overall physical health goal. However, I didn't realize I picked a few images with weights in them, and I ended up joining a gym that focuses mainly on weight training. And I don't really think that's a coincidence. I think this is literally a vision board at work, right? I also laughed way too hard seeing the only photo I chose for nutrition because of all the glass Tupperware. I ended up having to buy 5 or 6 new ones this year, because they all randomly broke or they got lost or I lent them out and they were never returned. And so I ended up having to buy a bunch this year, which is hilarious to me because that wasn't what I meant when I chose that photo. I chose that photo thinking of meal prep and healthy food. But sometimes that's kind of how it works. That's why you got to be really careful with what you add to your vision board. Overall, when I look back, I can see that I focused more on exercising than sleep or nutrition when I picked my images. So it is no wonder that I struggled more with nutrition this year. My 2022 vision board, for example, only had 1 photo related to exercise, but 3 related to food. And it is the year that I started meal prepping and getting really into cooking at home. This is a lesson of what you focus on expands, right? It isn't a good or bad thing. My biggest hurdle for 2024 relating to my physical health was getting back into exercise, like I said before. And I did do that, but I know I want more balance next year. Emotional health or mental health. What went well? I journaled this year. I've never been able to consistently journal before this year. I would either get bored really quickly or overthink everything or spend like 10 hours picking the perfect prompt to do and then not have time to actually do it. I did journal every day. It's not like it was a super consistent habit. However, I did journal this year more than I ever have before. So I'm calling that a win. I also did more physical therapy massages than other years. I found a new physical therapist who is amazing, and I upped the amount of times that I did it. I do want to be more consistent next year, though. So, again, like celebrating the win, I also know there's room for improvement still. I did go to therapy consistently once a week for almost every single week this year, except if I was like sick or traveling. So, that is definitely a win win win. What could have gone better? I didn't give myself self-care space this year. Self-care took a back seat. And when I say that, I mean with hair care, I mean with skin care, I mean with time to relax, time to unwind, time to disconnect from social media. I had a really hard time making self-care a priority this year. And it is something that I really want to recommit to for 2025 and get back into it because I know how much it affects the rest of my life and how much better I feel when I do it. Unexpected. I didn't realize I had added a picture of a woman sleeping into my mental health because that's more of a physical health thing for me. So that was probably a mistake I made when I was doing the vision board and I didn't realize it. The funny thing is, I did spend a lot of time in bed this year, just like lying in bed because I was like sad or like I woke up kind of which is funny to me because that was definitely not expected. But also, again, relating to that specific picture, the woman sleeping has a blue blanket in the picture. And that made me laugh because on my birthday this year, one of my friends gifted me a very, very similar blue blanket. And it's just like, how did that come into my life without me even thinking about it, right? Again, this is why we have to be really intentional with the images that we choose and make sure they're actually things we want. Because can you imagine if it was like this really ugly blanket that I didn't want and somebody gifted it to me? No, thank you. Thankfully, it was a very beautiful, very cozy, very warm, fuzzy blue blanket. Overall, like I said, I just want to make self care a bigger priority in 2025, and I need to look at my schedule and add it into my plans so that it actually happens because I know I have a tendency to have it fall on the back burner if I don't. Next, we have spiritual health. What went well? I feel like I really connected more to my witchy woo woo personality this year, as well as connecting more to my intuition. I follow my intuition more, which again, I love. Also, like in mental health, journaling, I did a lot of journaling in this case, specifically around mindset and manifesting kind of things, which again, I'm really proud of myself because I've never been able to consistently journal before. I brought my gratitude practice back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also experimented with hypnosis, which I was fascinated by, and I manifested so many things this year. Now, what could have gone better? My receiving log was not logging this year. I kept forgetting to update it consistently. And my receiving log is one of my favorite ways to stay in a positive manifesting headspace. So I know I want to get back into that in 2025. I also wanted to learn to meditate this year, but that didn't happen. I did start doing some tapping, EFT tapping, but I wasn't really consistent with it. So again, room for improvement. I don't see anything really unexpected here, except for maybe the fact that I added a photo full of crystals and my crystal collection has grown, but also I have like this little shelf now where they're all together, which I didn't really plan on doing. 2024 was a big year for me, like overall, going into the overall reflection piece of it, for learning spiritual things and learning to let go of old patterns that no longer serve me. So I'm hoping to continue that trend into 2025, but also get stronger and better at the things that I wasn't as consistent with. Now we can jump into my other more internal category, which is the personal category, which again is this purple one here. Again, it's long because it's divided into 3 mini sections. First section being learn, things I wanted to learn in 2024. So what went well? You can see there's an orange book with money. I wanted to read more books on finance and money mindset. I definitely did that. Definitely a good thing. I did learn more about tarot also, and you can see there's a picture of the Eiffel Tower. That's because I'm learning French. I did have French classes all throughout the year, and I do think I've gotten better at French. Now, what could have gone better? I canceled more French classes than normal this year due to various reasons. I'm okay with those reasons, but I do want to try and avoid that for next year. I don't know if it's going to be switching the schedule of my French classes or just trying to plan out a little bit better. Now, there were a lot of unexpected things that caused me to cancel classes, but I just want to be more consistent with them, especially with my French homework. Like, I'm really behind on the French homework because I just haven't had the energy to do it. So definitely want to fix that. I also haven't read as many books as I normally read, which again is okay, but it is something I want to make a mental note of since this year was very low energy for me in many ways. I didn't really join any new classes like photography, singing, or learn into makeup or gardening, which is something that I wanted to do. Now, unexpected, I did put a bookshelf full of books, and my house is filled with a lot more books than it was at the beginning of the year. That makes me very happy because I love books. The learn area overall is usually one of my strongest areas. I'm really curious by nature and I'm always looking to learn new things. And so it's fascinating to me how this area was this year. I know I had a lot going on and a lot of things that drained my energy, but I do wonder if I had prioritized self-care the way I wanted to, would I have had more energy to learn the things I wanted to learn? But I guess it's more of a matter of saying, you know what, there's always next year, and recommitting to that for next year. Then we have the grow section. Now, the grow section is really about how I want to grow as a person. So not so specific, it can include something that I want to learn more about, but it's more of a confident thing, embodying the best version of myself. What went well? I definitely feel like I embodied the best version of myself and embraced more of my quirks. I also let myself splurge on things that I normally wouldn't have let myself do, which has been a huge thing for me because I'm very much a put other people first and then leave the rest for me. And so I have a hard time splurging on things that are just for me and just for fun. I did learn more about astrology, which I really wanted to do. I also let myself play more and just enjoy the day. What could have gone better? I'm actually pretty happy with how this area went. The only thing I think I could improve more is my self-confidence and not masking around certain people, especially people I don't know as much, just learning to show up as myself, 100% authentic. And if you like it, great. And if you don't like it, well, I'm not the person for you then. Unexpected things, and I'll put a photo of this. I put that little red purse, which is a letter box, a post thing where you put post letters. And really what I wanted to say with that was that I wanted to have more novelty items in my wardrobe, except it ended up that a friend of mine sent me a purse for my birthday, and it was a Harry Potter, a Hogwarts letter shaped purse. And I found that really fascinating because it's not only a novelty item of Harry Potter, which is something that I love, but also it's a letter, and I had put a photo of a letter box. So I thought that was a kind of fun coincidence. I also added a photo of that green bluish minty purse. I wasn't looking for a purse specifically in that color. I was just wanting to add more color to my wardrobe in general, hence also the picture of the yellow shoes. But I did end up buying a light blue purse that is not as green as this one, but it's very similar in shape and color, which I thought was funny as well. I think overall, this is one of the areas that went best this year. I think I was really able to embrace the parts of me that I used to judge or criticize or hide because I thought others would judge or reject me for them. But I also definitely want to keep up leveling this in 2025. And then finally, for the personal section, we have play. What went well? Puzzles. I did a lot of puzzles this year at home, on my phone,
but also a newer friend invited me to go to a puzzle competition, which we lost by a lot, but it was so much fun. I put a photo of this lady dancing just because I wanted to do more like dance parties at home, just like solo dance parties with me, myself, and I. Definitely had a lot of those. I also played more with my style, which is why their clothing picture is there, and dressing more the way I want to dress. I also did some stand up comedy. I did get on stage at least once this year. I can't remember if it was once or twice this year. What could have gone better? Singing. I wanted to join some singing classes and I didn't. The schedule just didn't work out for me, but that's okay. Skating. Oh, skating. This was, you know what? I'll get back to that one. Crafting and like painting and creativity. This was probably one of the lowest things in the play area, and creativity for me is something that really helps not just my like inner child, but it also helps my mental health. It helps me feel calmer. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I just didn't make the time for it. Like, I can't believe how little of it I did this year, and it's definitely something I wanted to fix. And then skating, and this one falls into the what could have gone better, but also the like unexpected. So I put roller skates on my board because I've always loved roller skating and I wanted to do it this year. Um, I didn't. But what was unexpected is that I had not one, but two different opportunities, completely unexpected. One was a neighbor who asked me if I would want to learn roller skating because she wanted to learn how to roller skate, and there were some like free classes in the community going on, and she didn't have anyone to go with, and she thought of me, which was hilarious and unexpected because I know this neighbor. She's super nice, but we've never gone out or hung out or been together in a sort of way. So it's just funny that she thought of me, right? Very much a like universe coincidence aligning for this. And I told her yes, and then we kept like fumbling around on the schedule, and eventually she stopped insisting, I stopped insisting, and it didn't happen. So definitely an unexpected thing, but also something that could have gone better because I should have taken her up on that opportunity faster and been more, maybe more insistent with it. And then the other thing was a friend randomly one day says, "Hey, by the way, I really want to buy some roller skates, but I don't have anyone to roller skate with. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?" And I was like, how is this coming up again? Right? Again, completely unexpected. How is this coming up again? And I told her, yes, of course. However, we haven't, like, she asked me if I could go with her to buy the roller skates. I was like, yes, of course. And we never actually made the plans to go. And so it didn't happen. Overall reflection for this category, I know I need to pay more attention of when the universe is sending me something I asked for and actually take action on it, because without action it won't happen. Also, I think I've gotten way better at letting myself do things just for fun. However, I know there's still room for improvement, and I want to give myself more time and space to pursue just play and joy and curiosity in 2025. Now, if you're enjoying this video, I'd love to know, have you ever made a vision board? Let me know in the comments, what's the most unexpected thing that has happened? You know, kind of like this skating thing that I just mentioned. Moving on into the opportunities section. Now, this is one of the ones that has some blurred things, but again, my opportunity section is this blue column, which is divided into three sections. And it starts with legacy. And legacy includes a lot of my business stuff and what I want to leave behind in the world, the impact I want to leave, but also my business goals, right? That's why some of these things are blurred out, because I feel like they're more personal, not necessarily something I want to share all over the internet. So, what went well? I started this YouTube channel. I've been saying I want to start a YouTube channel since I was 15, and I posted my first video a couple of weeks before turning 30. It took me 15 years to follow up on this goal, but I did. I finally did it. Second, my office space is beautiful and relaxed. I actually have a photo very similar to that one that I posted of like the sun coming in through the window and hitting the desk, which was really interesting and fun. I also put a photo on my vision board of me speaking on stage, as well as one like more in community. And I did speak at 4 online events this year. And I never meant for the speaking on stage to be like a literal, I want to get on a stage and speak in front of people, which would be amazing. But I meant it more as a like, I want to give talks and teach more people. That's what it symbolized for me. And so being able to speak at 4 events this year has been awesome. What could have gone better? I had a lot of plans that I didn't take action on, which overall affected my results for this year. I definitely didn't work on growing my TikTok consistently. Things changed. This year was a lot. Unexpected, that photo of the light hitting my desk, which I mentioned before. And overall, I learned a lot this year. I'm proud of myself for having self compassion during the times I was more tired, but also I know I self sabotaged multiple times and I need to get out of my own way if I want 2025 to be better. Okay, so moving on to travel. I traveled a lot this year. We went on a cruise, we went to the beach multiple times in different countries. We traveled in Peru. What could have gone better? Honestly, nothing. I loved this year of travel. Unexpected, definitely the cabin. I added that photo because it seemed intriguing at the time. We ended up making an unexpected trip to Colca Canyon in Peru. And though we stayed in a hotel, the vibes were very similar to this. But we also went to lunch at a different hotel now on our bucket list, and they had very similar like cabin type structures. We also were planning a trip that we ended up not doing and almost went to a place where we were going to stay in a cabin, right? So there was a lot of cabins in my life this year, but it's something that I could tell I was attracting into my life, but the universe wasn't ready to give me just yet. So I'm actually probably going to use that same photo in my 2025 vision board because I can feel it coming into my life, but maybe 2025 is the year it's supposed to actually come into my life. Overall reflection, I love how much we prioritize travel this year. It's definitely something I love doing, and my travels were the highlight of my year. This or something better for 2025, please. And then we have lifestyle for the last opportunity category. What went well? We rescued 4 dogs this year. 3 are up for adoption technically, but it's more like 2 are up for adoption. One has already been adopted. We also helped other rescuers with their rescues by volunteering time. We started going to the theater again, which, yay, I love the theater. We ate out more. We increased our savings. What could have gone better? We had some financial plans that we didn't take action on. I'm not going to get into it because that's a little bit personal, but it is what it is. Unexpected, the lounging by the pool photo is something that came true almost to a T because of how much we traveled this year. So overall, I do think I'm creating the life that I want, the lifestyle that I want. There's some things to tweak here and there, but this was a really good section overall. And so finally, moving on to relationships. In relationships, we have this final column, again, with 3 sections. And the first one is home. What went well? I've added more plants to our home, which I love. I added more art to our home and some joyful things and decor items. I've added more books. I finally have a dedicated corner office in my home. I did sign up for a flower bouquet membership, which I really enjoyed, which kept my home full of flowers every month, which was great. What could have gone better? I stopped that flower membership. I stopped it because we were going to travel and it didn't make sense to get flowers delivered while we were away. But then I kind of forgot to renew it and I just never got around to renewing it again. So we stopped getting flowers and I really enjoyed getting flowers. So I need to bring that back for next year. Also, because of how exhausted I was, or we were, because my husband also had this year, Our house wasn't in great shape for a lot of the year. We have lots of decluttering and organizing to do to get it like back to baseline, and I want more plants. Unexpected, nothing much, to be honest. But overall, I think I just want to spend more time making my home feel cozy and joyful next year. I can see how much little things like fresh flowers have a big effect on my energy and how I feel, and I want to bring more of that into my life in 2025. Then we have inner circle. Now, by inner circle, I mean my husband and my dogs, like my smallest family circle, if that makes sense. What went well? Coffee dates, beach dates, traveling together. My dogs are healthy. We've grown together as a couple. Like all of that has been awesome. What could have gone better? Dog training. I don't see anything unexpected here. I think when I say what could have gone better is dog training. What I mean by that is we were, again, and I know I've said this a million times, but we were really exhausted this year. So we didn't keep up with training regularly like we usually do. And also with giving our dogs enrichment toys and snuffle mats and things like that, which again we used to do regularly. And so we can see how that's affected how much energy our dogs have, and it has sometimes turned into some behavioral issues, like nothing major, but we know that it's from not doing those things. So bringing that back into 2025, yes. Overall reflection, bring that back into 2025. And also, like I can say, I definitely married the love of my life. And I'm just excited for us to keep evolving and growing together as a couple, to be honest. And finally, we have friends and family. So this is like more extended family, my parents, my siblings, my nieces, my nephew, and also friends. What went well? I saw my parents this year. They don't live in the same country as me, so that's always a big win. Christmas will be at my house, which is something that I love because I love hosting. I did go out with local friends more. I did call my parents more. I had more contact with my nieces. Now, things that could have gone better, I didn't keep that much in contact with my nephew. He's very into like video games and gaming and baseball right now, and I know pretty much nothing about any of those things. And because he lives in a different country, it is via like text messages. So, and he's like 10 years old and not really interested in like having a video call with his aunt. So it was a little hard, and I want to make more of an effort to improve that next year. I did want to put myself out there to meet more people, more local people, and I did not do that. So definitely room for improvement there. Unexpected, nothing much. I don't see anything that really unexpected here. Overall, I think I need to improve this area of my life by making a bigger effort to stay in contact with my friends that live far away, but also meet new people so I have more local friends, which I'm notoriously bad at. And 2025 is the year I hope that will happen. Now, if I look at my vision board as a whole, I'm really proud of the way that I handled all the curveballs that I was thrown this year. It was overall a really good year, even if I was exhausted for most of it. I love how much time I spent with my husband, my dogs, my friends, and my family. I love how much I traveled. I love how much I learned to embrace myself and love myself for who I am. And I can definitely see how I started to embody the best version of myself in 2024. And I can't wait to take that even further in 2025.
That was a doozy. Okay, that was a review of our 2024 vision board, which is going to allow me to take all of the lessons and all of the things that went well and all of the things that didn't go so well and all the things that were surprising or unexpected, but in a good way. And I'm going to create a more aligned vision board for 2025, which you can see happen in next week's video, where I'll go into my process of how I actually create the vision board. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate if you stuck around to the end. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy my Reset Your Life, how to catch up when you're falling behind video. Remember, I make new videos like this every single Friday. And if you did watch all the way to the end, you know that I have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers. So it'd be great if you hit subscribe. Bye!